Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Ram TRX Sandblast Edition. And we're going to talk about whether or not I should get the Sandblast Edition. First and foremost though, as always, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into the video. So first off, if you guys aren't familiar with my channel, I kind of have a thing for Baja trucks. This is my 2021 Ram TRX. It's one of the first TRXs to actually ever be produced, which I think is pretty cool. And then this is my 2021 Gen 3 Ford Raptor with the 37 Performance package. But again, this video is all about TRXs, so we're not going to focus on the Raptor too much, but I'm just trying to make a point that I love Baja trucks. Now, with my 2021 Ram TRX, I've customized it, a relative amount. I haven't done anything under the hood because, well, I want that good old powertrain warranty, especially after the first time I took the truck off-road and some stuff went haywire. But anyways, I've got the Mopar lights there at the top, which are super bright at night. I've got this bumper from Addictive Desert Designs with the LED light bar from Rigid, and then I've got the Rigid fog lights as well. Definitely love their lighting system overall. And the coolest thing about this bumper setup is it just displays the shocks in such a cool way, especially when the TRX is above you. So I'm going to walk down the driveway, and I don't know if the camera's going to be able to pick up the TRX anymore. Yeah, there we go. It kind of picks up. Look how cool the TRX looks with the shocks like that. So suffice to say, I've customized it quite a bit. Now, the other thing I've done to my truck is I have added mud flaps from Rock Blocks, and then I have a custom bumper also from Addictive Desert Designs, and then I have my AWE exhaust, and then I spec'd this out with the tire carrier from the factory, ram bar as well, which if you're gonna do a chase rack with your TRX and you're gonna add lights, I recommend doing this setup because I have jumped this truck a million times and I've never had any sort of movement in the rack. I've seen quite a few videos of people with their Shelby Raptors and jumping them, and then the rack like dents basically the cab and the bed, and it's just a whole mess. Don't have to worry about the ram bar, so that's another cool thing. And then from an interior perspective with my TRX, I ordered this fully loaded, brand new, so I did the red interior accent package, as you guys can see, with the carbon fiber, and then the really nice leather seats, which I definitely need to clean. I got like random little stains on things. And you guys can see here the steering wheel, got the carbon fiber here with the Alcantara, and then all of the leather on the dash, 12-inch display, camera mirror, panoramic sunroof. The original sticker price on my truck was $94,000, which is pretty crazy because TRXs are quite a bit more expensive now. And so yeah, that's what I own right now, and now let's kind of talk about the Sandblast Edition. So the Sandblast Edition was unveiled via Ram and Ken Block, and Ken Block actually released a pretty cool video where he's taking it off-road and did a bunch of fun stuff. The one thing in the video that I find kind of weird is they showed the dash and they showed the tire pressures for a second in the video, and it showed the tire pressure at like 46 PSI, and when I was watching the video, it looked kind of like bumpy throughout the video, and so I don't think they aired down for that video. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like they didn't like air down for that video, which I think is super strange, and also strange that they'd have the tire pressure at 46 PSI, because whenever I go off-road with the TRX, I have it at like 25 PSI minimum, and lately I've been going down to like 20 PSI, so I get that like nice, smooth, cushy ride. But anyways, they unveiled it. The Sandblast Edition basically is a TRX, but it's got like the cool sand dune color on the outside. It has the beadlock capable wheels, just like what I have on my truck. Now, instead of having a gray face, the wheel is completely blacked out, so it does look quite a bit cooler, and then it has some custom interior accents as well. It comes fully loaded. If you guys are wondering on the interior accents, I believe that instead of having like the red stitching like what my truck has, it has like the stitching that's similar in color to the sand dune color on the outside. A little bit different. They call it like frost stitching, but basically you have a custom exterior color and then you have a few interior bits they've added. Well, and the Gen 3 is leaving because Elise is taking it. Daily driven Gen 3, just saying. I've got like, I think almost 6,000 miles on the truck now, so definitely use it. Now, you guys are probably wondering why I'm even considering the Sandblast Edition, because it doesn't really do anything for the TRX. It's just a different color and different colored wheels, basically. So it's the same truck that I have right now, and I could, frankly, I could just wrap my truck in that color, and then also I could just change up, I could powder coat the wheels so that my wheels would look like that. There's a few reasons why I'm considering this. First off, it's my favorite color on an off-road truck. I love that sand color. Ever since I saw that Trail Boss that I reviewed on the channel just a few months ago in a similar sand dune color, I was like, man, I really need to own a vehicle in this color because it just looks so cool. I think I've seen a few like FJ Cruisers with that color as well. And again, it just looks amazing in my personal opinion. And I think that if I did the paint protection film from Steck that gives it like the satin finish, just like what we're doing on the Wrangler, that would just look absolutely phenomenal. And I'm really excited for the Wrangler. We're gonna be unveiling it pretty soon. So you guys are gonna love that one. But yeah, it doesn't really change anything for me from that perspective other than it's a really cool color. But on top of that, it would give me a reset with the TRX. If you guys don't know, I've got about 14, almost 15,000 miles on this truck, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things isn't a massive amount of mileage. But obviously I have definitely, well, I've definitely used the truck, right? I have definitely pushed the limits on this truck. And so it'd give me a fresh restart from a truck perspective. It's not like there's anything wrong with the truck. It's perfectly fine. It drives fine. The only thing that I need to fix is just the bottom of the aftermarket bumper that I've shown you guys a million times where we kind of dented it in. I just basically need to have it like cut off and then have like someone that does metal work to put something in that is just a little bit more sturdy. Now there's actually a few more things going against the Sandblast Edition other than the fact that it's basically just a different color that I frankly could just wrap my truck in if I wanted. The other thing going against it is the price. So it's gonna start at over $100,000. And then after I add the options that I'd want on the truck, like the ram bar, the spare tire carrier, and then probably rock rails because I'd want it to be like a cool off-road build. And I love these steps that I have right now, the off-road steps, but I'd rather have rock rails because these steps like hit on everything when I do any sort of crawling with the TRX. And so after I'd add all the options, I'd probably be like $105,000 to maybe $107,000 on the truck from a sticker price perspective, which is over $10,000 more than what the original sticker price was on this TRX when I got it. And so I would be paying a lot more money to get basically the same truck again with a slightly different exterior color. It would be a new model year. It would be a brand new truck with, you know, no miles on it. So I've got that going for me. I can have like a reset on stuff like tires, for example, brakes as well. But tires and brakes are substantially less expensive than, you know, $10,000 plus, you know, the price difference between the trucks. And so there is definitely that aspect of it. And on top of that, this truck has such a cool story behind it, right? This was like one of the first TRXs to be built, and it was one of the first TRXs to break down, right? We had that whole video thing happen. And so this truck just has such a cool story behind it, in my opinion, whereas if I got a Sandblast Edition, yeah, it would be my truck, which is cool, but it wouldn't have the same story, I guess, that this truck has. And so I guess from like a sentimental slash like YouTube advertising perspective, it doesn't have like the same, it doesn't carry the same weight, I guess, as what my truck carries after everything that this truck has been through, right? Now there are actually a few things that I could do to like slightly lower the price of the Sandblast Edition, believe it or not. So with the ram bar, I could basically just take it off of this truck and the spare tire carrier, because most people buying Ram TRXs do not care about both of these options because they just mall crawl with the trucks, which you guys know how I feel about that. But since most people small crawl with the trucks, I could just take these two things off, and then once the Sandblast Edition comes in, then I can just put it on the new truck. That would be easy enough. And then obviously with all the aftermarket parts, because I still have all the stock parts sitting over right there, I could just take all them off. So and this is why I would definitely at least take off the exhaust, because I love that AWE exhaust, but also the bumpers too, because I love the look of the bumpers here on the TRX. And so I could take all of those off, basically make this truck back to stock essentially, and then obviously take the wrap off and everything. And the wrap, taking that off wouldn't save me money, but if I took off those parts and then all the aftermarket parts as well, then that would save me quite a bit of money switching over to the Sandblast Edition, where I wouldn't have to go and buy everything all over again. So with everything taken into consideration, this is kind of where I stand with the Sandblast Edition. First off, I hope that I can somehow convince Ram to give me the red interior package with the Sandblast Edition. I know that the point of the package is to have that custom interior with their frost stitching, so that'd probably not happen. But I just am not a fan of the TRX interior with like the black stitching and like the gray inserts on the seats. Like these red inserts here, like I love this look so much. That's another reason why I didn't go for the Ignition Edition, actually, is because same thing, it did like the weird gray inserts in the seats, and I don't know, I like the little Alcantara bit, and I like the red inserts and the red stitching, and then also in the speakers too. You guys can see here with the red. I think that that just looks absolutely amazing. And so that would be my first thing is if I could convince Ram to do red stitching. And that actually works together, right? If you do like a sand dune color with red interior accents. And then the other thing, frankly, is I would just have to get a really good deal on the truck. Now, we know that there are a ton, well, not a ton, but a few Ram dealers that are selling TRXs for significantly under sticker. Now, I don't want to go out of state to purchase a TRX because I would not get the same trade-in value out of state as I would get in state, because TRXs are worth a lot more where I live than they are at these dealerships that charge significantly under sticker. So the last point that I want to make before I cap off this video is I think it's awesome that I'm able to even make this video talking about buying a special edition TRX, because I promise you, if Ford released a special edition version of the Raptor that was just a slightly different color like what this TRX Sandblast Edition is, I would have no chance of getting it whatsoever, because Ford's ordering system for their specialty products is just absolutely broken, especially when you compare it to Ram's system and to Jeep's system. You guys know that I own this Ram TRX. I also own a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392, and you guys saw earlier, I own a Gen 3 Ford Raptor. And I can tell you, ordering this Ram TRX was super easy. It was basically just contact a dealer, put my order in, and then Ram built my truck, right? Ram's whole motto with the TRX is, if you want a TRX, we will build you a TRX. Now, for the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392, you guys know that whole situation where someone backed out of an order, so I picked up their order. But if I wanted a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392, like if I wanted to just go in and order one, I could have just gone into a Jeep dealership, put in an order, and then Jeep would have built me one. Again, super easy process. Whereas I get comments and emails and messages every single day. Hey Ben, do you know any dealers that have Ford Raptor allocations, right? You can't just go into a Ford dealership and order a new Raptor or a new Bronco. And so I'm just trying to give like a high five and a pat on the back to Ram and to Jeep for actually making cool special editions that are actually available for regular people to buy and that we don't have to pay crazy markups for. Because if you want to buy a TRX right now, you can get one easily at MSRP, and there's some places selling them at under MSRP. If you want to go buy a Ford Raptor right now, you know what everyone's saying? Oh, $10,000 over sticker, that's a good deal on a Raptor right now. $20,000 over sticker, that's a good deal on a Raptor right now. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. Ford system's broken. And so, yeah, that's my little rant in today's video. And so again, props to Ram. And I think that Ford needs to take some notes from Ram and from Jeep on these special edition vehicles, because again, Ram building a bunch of these TRXs and Jeep building a bunch of the Rubicon 392s does not make them any less desirable. The reason that these vehicles are desirable is because of the performance associated with them, right? They have crazy fast accelerations and they're insanely capable off-road. Ford has made insanely capable off-road vehicles with the new Bronco, the new Raptor, the Bronco Raptor, so on and so forth. And so that's why those vehicles are desirable, not because Ford is arbitrarily decreasing supply to keep it desirable, to keep up demand. It's like it's such a stupid game in my opinion. And so again, high five Ram, keep it up. And I guess since you're keeping up this process, making it easy and everything, I'm just gonna have to keep buying vehicles from you instead of buying vehicles from Ford. I probably would have more Fords in the garage if they made the ordering process a little bit easier, if they made it so that regular people could actually get a hold of their cool vehicles. That's gonna sum things up for today's video. And yeah, this video's gone on for too long, so let me know what you guys think. I'll see you.